Okay, so first two stretches for the running program. Number one is the hip flexor, the front of the thigh. So what we're looking to do for here is kneel down onto one knee. From the side view, we're going to see you've got the front of the pelvis, back of the pelvis. Instead of me just falling into this and arching my back, I'm looking to engage my abdominals and tilt, just try and tilt the pelvis. And as I get that tilt of the pelvis, we start to feel a stretch in the front of the thigh. Once we've got about 10 seconds of relaxation of the muscle there, we then look to add the arms, and we're looking to arch backwards and then lean over to the side to show you from this view. So once we've gone backwards, we can then also practice a slight side lean to stretch through that right hand side just there. Once that's complete, switch legs, all of the same stretch for the other side as well. So that's stretch number one. Stretch number two was the soleus. That's more to do with a sensation of the Achilles, the lower part of the calf muscle. So a normal calf muscle stretch would be that long stride. We're going to bring this back foot halfway in. Most of the weight's now on the back leg, and we're bending the back knee, trying to push the knee over the toe. And as we push the knee over the toe, we should start to feel a stretch down this lower part, the back of the leg. So there's not much weight here on this front leg, and we're just trying to take the knee forwards and down into position. And then same thing for the other side, so that's my right leg, just taking that forwards, making sure I have this range of motion where my knee can be in front of my toe. That's the first two stretches. Next, we're straight into the exercise now. So exercise number one was the bobs. For the bobs, all we look to do is feet together, so the heels and the toes are touching, completely side by side. And then imagine you've got your back against a wall, so really good posture. From here, if we engage the glutes, it slightly rotates the thighs and activates so the knees are slightly apart for when we now bend. So it's just lowering down and coming back up. And what we're looking to see from this front view is that slight gap between my knees in that low position. And that just means we're getting a nice alignment for the ankle, knee and hip, especially the knee for that hinge joint. From a side view, what you'll hopefully see now is me not folding at my hip, but imagining I've got my back against the wall. And as I lower, it's how far can my knees go forwards, flexing and testing the ankle flexibility. So you better see the knees just about getting out in front of my toes, and that's very useful for runners, especially when we're getting onto the inclines and running off-road. Okay, next one, we have the raised step or platform. Can be done anywhere where we've just got a little bit of space to hang on the edge of something, maybe the lowest step of your staircase. First exercise, shoulders are level, hands are on the hips. Without bending the knees, we're looking to lower down one hip, and then I'm going to lift this right hip as high as I can, which you'll hopefully be able to see the movement there with my hands being on my hips. I can feel the movement. But what I'm avoiding is any bending of my knees. Both legs are straight the whole time, just up and down. Once you've gone for a set amount of time on one side, it would be simply either turning around or, in this case, going over to the other side of the step. For the same challenge, nice straight knees. Once we've completed a set on both sides, we can progress onto the heel touchdowns. So from here, now it's shoulders level, and we're going to keep the pelvis level for the duration of the exercise. We're bending at the supporting knee to lower down and coming back up. Now the important part of this particular exercise is where does that knee go when you bend the knee. We want the knee to go not even over the big toe, but over your second toe. So you're keeping that out in a good alignment, going straight forwards. The majority of people, the knee collapses in, but we want to hold it in position and get used to that automatic movement of it going straight forwards. I need that to happen on both legs as well. So next we have a little bit of ankle stability. So we're just going to wake up and activate all the muscles within the ankle. Using today this Bosu, this half ball. So all we're looking to do, place one foot in the center. As we step on, you can use the other foot to initially find your kind of center and your balanced position. Knees slightly soft can help recruit more muscles and then we're just looking to see if you're able to maintain a position on an unstable surface. Once you've done a set amount of time, switching legs, and we're just looking to obviously try and match up the amount of time you were able to be on each side. If you're unable to do this, we haven't got access to a BOSU. Even just being on the floor, we can start to challenge different parts of your balance systems. One of them being your visual system. We can reduce that effect by simply being on one leg and placing a hand over one eye, so you get less information. And then once you're able to do that, hands over the eyes, or just close your eyes, and that will become much more of a proprioceptive challenge of the ankle joint. In addition to that, we can also change your head position. So looking to the ceiling or tilting your head will increase the challenge. And then at the same time as the head being off center, closing the eyes too makes that the ultimate challenge while still being on a solid flat surface if we don't have a BOSU to utilize. Another simple activation and strength exercise for the posterior chain, being hamstrings, glutes, lower back. We simply go onto the floor, back of the body. We've got one foot in the center, one leg held up in the air. Keeping the pelvis level, we're looking to lift as high as you possibly can with each repetition. Once that's achieved, same number of repetitions for the other leg. Another endurance exercise, we can start to utilize some of the other equipment. So here we've got the Swiss ball or fit ball, and then also we've got one of these stretchy bands too, TheraBands. So one option is simply to walk out, resting the head and shoulders on the ball, keeping the hips up high, feet are about shoulder width apart, and just it's all about maintaining that position and staying still. In addition to that, we can make it a little bit trickier by placing a band around the knees. Now as we hold the knees apart, we're activating more the glutes minimus medius, the outside of the hip. So now returning back to position, you're going to see hips are up high and we're just trying to hold the knees apart and staying in that top position, hips as high as possible. We get even more activation within the glutes. Okay, so now we're getting to the sort of later stages of the strength conditioning. We have done a nice warm-up with a couple of stretches on some of the tighter muscle groups. We've done some balance activation exercises. We've done some weak link strengthening and also activation of individual muscles within the legs. Now we're trying to converge all of this together to have both good function, good alignment, and then also be a bit more powerful, a bit more plyometrics. So simply to start with, it's jumping up and down on the spot. So much like the bobs, we're going to have your feet together, good upright posture, hands on the hips or just beside you for balance. As we lower down and we come up, we're looking to have that slight separation of the knees, and the feet are going to stay glued together. But now, instead of just down and back up, we're actually going to accelerate and just have a bit of a jump. It doesn't have to be super high. You're looking to try and activate your core so your body's nice and level. Your legs are nice and springy, so it's not super loud on the impact. And from the side view, it's as if my back's against the wall. So there's not too much of a squat when my hips go behind me. And then jump and land, jump and land. I'm actually trying to have just a small bounce where it's nice and efficient and nice and upright. And that's the final exercise.